Hey guys, today we're going to work on stripping some paint. We'll show you the way I do it. There's lots of different ways to do it. Sandblasting. We're going to do a combination of things. This is an 8-inch, I call it a stripping pad. It's got 5/8 arbor. As you can see, it's a hook-it style pad. It goes on a buffer. Grinder spins it a little bit too fast. You eat up your sandpaper. Buffers work really well on it. So we'll be using the buffer, 6-inch DA, 40 grit sandpaper, 40 grit sandpaper. This is 36 grit that we'll use on some of the areas that's got fiberglass or body filler in it, the really heavy areas. We got a couple of different kind of wire brushes here. We'll use this one down in the channels and stuff around the trunk, hard to get to places. And this will be along the top of the car. Down in here, especially, this is kind of recessed in here. Really hard to get sandpaper or anything like that into it without grinding a bunch of the metal up. So we'll chemically strip this, and then we'll take our wire brush, clean it out till we get it down to the metal. Once we get it close, we'll take our 6-inch DA with the 40 grit sandpaper and come back, kind of final dress everything up. Wire brushes will be used down this channel around the trunk where your weather stripping goes, up along some of these other areas up through here. It's just hard to get to with the regular DA and stuff. Down here in the open areas, we'll be using the 8-inch stripping pad. Just makes really quick work of things. Those things do generate a lot of heat, so don't stay in one spot, especially if you get into a bunch of Bondo or something like that. Go ahead, move it around, work it down slow, watch your heat, because you don't want to warp the panel. We want to get stripped down to doing the littlest damage as possible. And you don't have to take it all the way to the metal. Get it down close with this, hit it with your DA, it's a little bit slower. Then you can switch to a lighter sandpaper, like an 80 grit, and kind of finish things up. So we're going to get started. We're going to put a little bit of the chemical stripper on there. The product that we're using this time, this is a Rust-Oleum aircraft remover. You can get it at AutoZone. This probably came from one of the parts houses. Then I've also got another brand over there in the gallon jug. If we run out of this, we'll get it out and I'll show that to you. Same stuff, just different brand, different, a little bit bigger container. As you can see, this stuff's kind of thick. I just use a plastic mixing cup. Put a little bit down in the bottom of it. And this is just a cheap little paintbrush that I use. And all this stripper is water soluble, so you can clean everything up with water. Water neutralizes it. But we'll get this brushed on. You'll actually see this paint start to ripple up and bubble up. Then we'll come back with a putty knife and scrape everything off that we can get off. Then once that's done, we'll come back with our wire brush and wire brush everything down. Probably have to do 2 or 3 coats to get everything off. It doesn't have to be real thick. Just get you a good heavy coat of it on. Let it set and let it do its thing. I don't know if you can see, but right up in this area here, you can see the paint's already starting to wrinkle up, peel up. So you can see this stuff works relatively quick. And you can see right there, it's already loosening the paint up and getting ready to come off. So we'll let that sit there and work, do its thing for a little bit. 1970, I believe it's 8 when lead paint came out. We expect we're going to run into some lead paint in the lower layers if the car's never been stripped before. Generally, 78 and later, you can probably just get by with the regular dust mask. We're going to use a respirator just to make sure we don't want to be breathing into a bunch of lead. We're going to use our safety glasses, and we've got our ear protections. Let's get started grinding.
That's why we designed Capital One Cafe. You can get savings and checking accounts with no fees or minimums. And one of America's best savings rates. To top it off, you can open one from anywhere in 5 minutes. This isn't a typical bank. This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?